Hello and welcome to Shane's Journal. My name is Shane and this is my techo kaigi for 2024. This year I'm going to be in 4 books for the first time, and I kind of wanted to make a video just showing how I plan to use each book. 3 of them are hobonichis and then this one is a muji planner. This is my favorite genre of YouTube video, is seeing how people use their journals or planners and how to make them more efficient or fun. So hopefully you can get some ideas from this video. And with that out of the way, let's get started. So the first journal in my lineup is my Hobonichi Techo A6. As you can see, I've decorated the cover on both sides with stickers. A lot of these stickers are ones I've made myself, so all the ones I'm pointing to are ones that I make and sell on Ko-fi, K-O-F-I. And then this side too, the ones I'm pointing to are ones that I make and sell. The reason I have my own art, a lot of it on the cover, is because this is my sketch a day journal. So I'll be using each day to draw or sketch something just to keep me in my drawing practice. I did the same thing last year and it was the first time I've ever completed an entire sketchbook. And so inside I've got a lot of different scraps and stickers on the inside cover. I'm using the index as like a table of contents. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna use the monthlies for. Last year I just kind of left them blank. So if anyone has any ideas for that, would love to hear it in the comments. And then for every hobonichi, you get this turning the page on a new year like spread before the dailies. And so I like to use that as like an intentions collage. This year in my art, I want to focus on improving my ability to draw like settings, backgrounds, so landscapes or like indoor settings. And also I want to improve at drawing monsters. So I've got kind of some stickers and images to represent that. I'm also trying to live by this mantra, create more than you consume, because it's really easy to get caught up on social media and consuming different videos and stuff, but I want to be making more than I'm consuming. And I've kind of taken that mantra from my friend Josephine on TikTok. Shout out to Josephine. Here are my first couple sketches of the year so far. And then I found a little bit ahead. This is a print that I made that I was like, that counts as art, I'll put that in. I did this last year too. Like if I have extra time, I'll draw more in here, and then it's like getting ahead on your homework so that during the week when work gets busy, if I don't have time to draw, I'm able to be like, well, I was ahead on my homework. Obviously, maybe that's a little bit cheating, I don't know, but it's one trick I've used to kind of help me stay on top of this in my drawing practice. Obviously, the goal is to draw every day, but personally, I don't think it's cheating. I think it's a way to be realistic if you're trying to practice a new habit and be consistent with it. Alright, next up in my lineup, I've got another Hobonichi A6. This is the One Piece Hobonichi A6 that came out this year in the yellow Luffy cover that Hobonichi put out. It's got a little pocket right here. It's got 2 tabs for pens, and then these 2 little bookmarks. It's really cute. Inside, I'm using these little card holders for Digimon cards I like. So I've got 2 Devimons and an Angemon. Ice Devimon, the best Digimon, my favorite Digimon. And then I've also got my card. I need to update this to include YouTube, and then I don't even really post on Lemonade or Instagram, but I have it on here. I do make and sell art on Ko-fi, so got my little card right there. I'm at Shane's Journal on TikTok and Ko-fi if you want to check that out. Over here is my favorite piece of art I made last year. It says, "You can run from your dreams, but they'll find you, brother." And that's because this journal is meant to be like a creative journal for me this year. I have this dream of writing a comic and maybe getting it out there somewhere. And so I've decided to finally kind of take that dream seriously in my free time. And that's kind of where this came from. This is a character from the comic, Ghost Laurel. And so I just kind of put that there as motivation, but I think it's my favorite thing I made last year. On the inside cover, I've got another little collage, and then I'd taken some notes with ideas from watching other YouTube videos about how to set up a creative journal. So That's kind of there for like intentions. And then my index is kind of just table of contents. We get this extra monthly for December, so I just put some collage-y type stuff in here. I'll continue to add to that later. For my monthlies in this one, I want to kind of just keep a running list of what I'm working on, or like what work am I doing. So that's the plan there. The reason I don't know what to do in my sketch journal for that is because if I'm already doing it here, I don't want to do it twice. So I think I need some sort of other function for the monthlies in my sketch journal. For my turning the page for this journal, again, this is like a creative journal for me, for planning my story for my comic, and also just improving at art. So in here I've got like a lot of influences on me, character influences, story influences, just stuff that makes me like inspired. And then in the journal itself on the dailies, I'm just writing down like story stuff for my comic. I'm also taking an art class, so I'm going to be writing notes and stuff in there. Just like stuff to better my practice as an artist and creator, and just kind of using this journal specifically for that. Last week I got kind of far in this, so I like needed more pages than I had, meaning that like I'm already over here now on the 14th, even though today's like the 7th. So similar to my sketch journal, I plan to, if I get ahead, it's like doing your homework early, that's fine, but the goal is to fill in the whole book by the end of the year with just my creative process, writing, notes, stuff that I can use to improve as an artist. Okay, next we have my planner. A lot of this stuff in here is personal, so I can show you a few of the spreads. This is a Muji planner in an A5 size, and I'll show you what a blank one looks like. So they don't sell these in the US anymore, but when I traveled to South Korea a couple years ago, I bought a bunch of them because I really like them. But basically, it's kind of like a Hobonichi Weeks. I like it better though because it's the A5 size. Sorry, I have it backwards. It's the A5 size, and so I have more space. I found when I tried using a Hobonichi Weeks in the past, I like didn't have enough room. So the front section is monthlies that are blank, and then the next big section is a bunch of weeklies where you have the left side with days of the week, Monday through Sunday, and the right side is like a notes page. And then in the very back, there are a few pages for notes. That's my one thing that I don't like about this journal, is like this is how much notes they give you at the end. And I kind of like that section to be bigger. I know like the Hobonichi Weeks Mega has a thick section of pages in the back, so I wish there was something like that for this, because again, I don't really like the narrow size of the weeks. I like the full A5 size so that I can plan for work and home. But here's like a typical spread in mine. So for monthly, I put like important dates and stuff. I also have these little things to remind me to do stuff for my cat. So like replace the litter, clean her water filter. I have this emergency radio that I need to charge every 3 months. So I move these as we go. I covered up some dates because I don't want to share personal info, but I always decorate the border. And then at the bottom, I have habit trackers. So habits that I typically track are exercise, working on my comic, and then my TikTok. And then here's a week that I've pre-decorated but haven't filled in yet. So this is for like later in January. I usually like to decorate a couple weeks in advance so it's not like overwhelming. But I do find that I use this more if it looks pretty. But basically I take dates from the monthly and add it to the weekly, week by week. And then I've got tasks for work and tasks for home over on the right. And then what I typically do is as I complete tasks, I highlight using a friction erasable highlighter. And the reason I like doing that is it's like more visually pleasing than just, you know, crossing stuff off. And it's like a goal to like highlight everything so that it's all highlighted by the end of the week. And then tasks that I don't finish, I will just move to the next week. Here are a few more spreads that I've pre-decorated. I decorated up to like President's Day. And it's nothing, you know, fancy, just like paper scraps, washi tape, stickers, just anything to make it look kind of nice, but then leave me space to write as well. And then in the very back, I've got this cute little folder from Hobonichi with stickers, like the habit tracking stickers and stuff. And then I've got this little pad with different pens that I use, and then also some Post-its in case I need them. Okay, lastly we've got the OG Hobonichi Techo, the one that started it all. I started using these in like late 2019, and it's kind of evolved over time to become basically just like my journal memory keeping book. I tried using these as a planner before, and I guess potentially I could, but I kind of like this one. I forgot to mention, in this one, it gives you enough space that it lasts about a year and a half. So this one will last me until December 2024. I started it in like October 2023. So I think this is good and simple for planning purposes. For my Hobonichi, initially I tried using it as a planner and like a diary journal, but I found that it was too much for one book, and so now I use it as a journal. As you can see, I get really into decorating it. This past year I used a Hobonichi Techo cousin, but it was like the full year one, and so this one's an AVEC, so it's January through June, and then there's a second book for July through December, and I like that better because it gives me more room. So my Hobonichi from last year, if you saw it on TikTok, was like really falling apart towards the end and like super thick. These get thick too, but not as bad. And then I also like that it means that I get to decorate 2 books in a year. So I kind of just pick stickers that make me happy, and these are always just like fun to look at throughout the year. Inside I like to decorate with little scraps and like totems and stuff. I see a lot of Kiryu, a lot of random or like funny things that make me smile. And then for the index for this one, I like to write down good things that have happened, just as I remember them, like, oh, that was fun or that was nice, just good memories to look back on, highlights kind of the month. I covered up the ones I have now because I don't want to share personal info, but that's what I found this works best for me. And then in my monthlies in my Hobonichi, I like to do sticker a day spread for every month. So I'll always come up with some sort of theme for the month. This month was gold and silver, kind of metallic around the border. And then for each day, I add stickers that kind of represent what I did that day. I have like maybe a too big sticker collection, and so this is a fun way to use my stickers, and also kind of a fun scavenger hunt to find stickers that match like what happened that day. And then I can look back on it and kind of get a visual of like how that month was or like what happened that month. I used to use the weeklies in here for planning, but now I kind of just use it as like a junk journal, like literally junk journal. Like I'll get trash from the week from like wrappers and stuff, or packaging, and kind of just put it in here, or like post-it notes I wrote on, things like that, just to kind of have a quick visual collage from the week. But I'm not showing the one that I did for this past week because it has some personal info. And then for my turning the page on a new year, this is my collage. I just kind of included things that are important to me or make me happy. And so obviously I'll do another one of these in my July through December book later in the year. I also forgot to say that on the spine of this one, since it's a 2-part book, I had these little like, I don't know, friendship heart stickers with like a bear with half a heart. So I've got the first one here, and then when I do my second one, I'll put the other half of the heart here, and I just think it's so cute. Okay, and then for each month, there's like a blank page, so I use those as like ongoing spreads of media I'm consuming. So this year I'm doing movies, which I didn't do before, but basically just movies I've watched and enjoyed in this year. So far, Gran Turismo is the only movie I've watched this year that I've really enjoyed. I haven't really watched any other movies, and I was watching it the second time, but really love this movie. Over here we've got games that I'm playing, so I'm finally on Yakuza 6, Fortnite Underground current season, and then I recently found this old Game Boy Advance game I used to have as a kid called Tang Tang that I've never passed, so I'm hoping to pass it this year. But this year I'm also writing down when I start the game and when I finish the game. I forgot to show that this book gives you July monthly, but July monthly is already in the next book. So I use the July monthly for music I'm listening to currently, and I'll add as I go on. This is usually the one that gets filled up the most. So I already have a second spread set up for that when the other one gets filled. Over here I've got what I'm reading. I don't read a lot in my spare time, but I do read manga sometimes. So I have to fill this in because I've read a couple mangas that I need to add in here. And then over here I've got shows that I'm watching. So right now The Curse, which is so good. And then the original Gridman show from the 90s. And then I don't want to show my journal entries that are filled in, but basically on my daily pages I just put what happened that day, kind of a bullet point list, or like, I don't know, things happening in my life, I guess. But I like to decorate with packaging that's pretty. So I got some stuff from JetPen, so I decorated these 2 pages. And then over here I got a Midori cover. Someone gave me this washi tape. I got a sticker book. So I'll just get stuff like that, scraps, and kind of decorate ahead of time. And then if I fill in a page and there's still empty space at the bottom, I'll decorate with art or stickers or washi tape or other scraps just to kind of make it nice and full. So that's my techo kaigi for 2024 so far. I'll probably do like a mid-year update if all goes well later in the year. But if you have any questions or ideas, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you want to subscribe, I'm hoping to do more videos like this in the future on this YouTube. I'm also on TikTok at Shane's Journal and on Coffee at Shane's Journal. So you can follow me those places. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.